So I wanted these door trims for my wagon restoration, as they're in pretty good shape, although needing a little bit of a cleanup. Taking these off is actually pretty easy. The door handle's got two large Phillips screws at the bottom. There is a third underneath the chrome trim, but you'll get round to that. The surrounds of the door lock are pretty straightforward with Phillips screws. Then this is the important one, to flick off the front of the plastic trim covering the screw for the chrome surround. Don't just jimmy these hard or you'll actually buckle them, and they're quite hard to come by in good shape. This Phillips screw holding on the chrome trim inevitably falls down the back, so just be careful with it when you get it off. If you've got manual windows, there's a hole here. Just push the buckle in on the side and slide it back. You do want the window down to ultimately do the last stage of removal. As a final third Phillips screw for the front driver's door handle. So now there's a bunch of white clips on the back of the door cards, and if you gently get a flat instrument under there and just jimmy these, you'll hear them clip off. I don't know, there's probably about 8 or 9 of them. This car is, for the wreckers, there is terrible rust, so I don't mind about scratching the paint underneath. Now this is why you need the window off, because normally you've just got to gently lever the top of the door card off here from the outside, but in this case you didn't. The door pocket does have a little clip that I just pointed out, which is pointing towards the back of the car. I don't think that actually clips onto the door frame, admittedly. I think that's just holding on the cardboard, but just in case, don't pull the card straight out. Always give a little bit of a jimmy. So moving on to the rear door now, just taking off the surround on the door lock. The two Phillips once again come off pretty straightforward. I'm then getting that plastic trim off gently. Use a very fine instrument here. I'm just using a scalpel to lift it out. As I said, these always, if you use a thick screwdriver, it'll just hammer it. It'll deform. Take that out. Then it's got the Phillips screw underneath the handle to get that piece of trim off. The magnetized screwdrivers reduce the risk of it falling behind the door card if you do need it. Only 2 large Phillips screws for the door handle in the back. And then we'll get on to the window winder, which has just got that little clip which you can feel on the back side of the handle. Just push it in and slide the black trim, or black trim in this case, off. And then the handle comes off. Compared to the 116s, you don't have to undo the screws on the ashtray. The ashtray doesn't really need to come out. So with the clips, try and slide your instrument right to where they attach and lift it. Don't do it like halfway between the two, otherwise you might pull the clips out of the door card. And then we just get those off. You'll see in this case, this one was a bit more rigid than the front card, and you need to gently just lift the clips off that are holding it with the window down. At this point I didn't understand why this was being a little bit of a stubborn task. So the window went down, and then I just gently lifted this card up, and it came off pretty straightforward. There we go, no damage to the card. There's the back of it with all the white clips. And you can see the clips on the top with the felt, which are still available from MB actually. There's the plastic trim which stops water getting in through the windowsill and damaging your card. It's normally been lost at this age of a car.